Hello, this is Kyle from Out of the Greenhouse. I'm currently recording to you from the forests of Atlantic Canada, and I was trudging through some coniferous woodland back there, primarily filled with white pine, but also some red spruce and white spruce here and there, and decided to pass through one of my favorite areas of what is so far my favorite forest to hike here in Nova Scotia. This is without a doubt one of the most interesting spots in it. Behind me are a ton of bigtooth aspen trees, young bigtooth aspen. And it may shock you, but they're all genetically identical. They all share the same root system, just like quaking aspen. However, this tree is unique in its leaves, but not all too unique. If you could see the leaf arrangement here, it is alternate. Most, if not all, poplar types are alternate, but you can see the pretty large teeth on every leaf here. And these trees, along with quaking aspen, have flat petioles. The petiole is what attaches the stalk to the leaf blade, and with these flat petioles, like quaking aspen, allows for more free movement. So it can take a very little amount of wind. I'm watching wind go through these older aspen over here. It only takes a very small amount of wind to go through to make these things go wild. And with this similarity, it's easy to confuse bigtooth aspen with quaking aspen. Now, this area was obviously clear-cut at one point, perhaps even exposed to fire, and aspen tends to dominate disturbed areas like this, and it's very shade intolerant. As you can see, it's very exposed to the sun, all the crowns of these young aspen. They, of course, disperse further into the forest over here that becomes a little more deciduous. You start to see more gray alder and things like that. Still primarily coniferous, but these older ones are doing a good job of towering above those coniferous trees and getting a lot of sunlight. They don't thrive very long if they are in shade. And a thing about the root system is it's shallow, and if any damage is done to it, suckers are sent out and they begin to clone and create new trees. And not even the root system has to be damaged. In fact, something as simple as a branch being cut off and falling into the soil can trigger this to happen. It can create new trees, and it's amazing to imagine how large this root system here is alone. Of course, these older aspen over here are connected to this too, but just this stand of young aspen has such a massive root system right here. And this is a very big disturbed area. I collected lowbush blueberries here not too long ago. Unfortunately, they're not growing anymore, but I did get a lot of them here, and it's fairly easy to trek through, other than the bracken ferns, which also dominate disturbed areas. Other than that, it's not too bad. That, and there's a lot of rocks. Here is a bigtooth aspen that is a bit older, and with a flesh tone of bigtooth aspen as opposed to quaking aspen that is typically yellowish white or grayish white. This has more green in its hue, and this is caused by chlorophyll. Perhaps this isn't the best example since the sun is hitting it quite a bit, and it's making it appear lighter than it actually is in tone, but I find that most bigtooth aspen is darker in the bark, and you can see a lot of green there. Now, these trees are dioecious, meaning that the male and female parts are on separate trees, and the pollination occurs through flowers that come in clusters called catkins, and these usually come about in mid-April or mid-May, depending on the climate. And the wind sends these seeds flying around, and they meet the female parts, and this continues the reproduction of the tree within this cloning root system. As far as the native range of bigtooth aspen, it is exclusive to North America. In Canada, it starts in Nova Scotia, which it covers all of Nova Scotia, goes over New Brunswick, and then keeps going westward and ends, I believe, in southwest Ontario. And it also covers some states below that, like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And I believe it covers, as far as the Northeast US, covers all of New York, all of Pennsylvania, and all of New England.